Thank you very much, colleagues. Okay, welcome, Lenny. I've seen you have just joined. All right.
Need about 1 minute here.
Okay, great. So Lenny is going to take us through the entire marketing plan. I was just trying to demonstrate how the electronic version works.
Oh, well, we'll try to do it.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, I have to share my screen. Good morning. Now, I know it's later in Ghana. It was 4 hours, right? And when we started this a month ago, it would be light here. But now, if you go outside, it's really basically dark. But we go to off of daylight savings time, so that will change after this course. So I'm going to briefly, and I know that this is your 4th or 5th week, so you've really had a successful virtual course, and I see that we still have about the same number of participants. Is that correct? So I'm very pleased to see all of this. I'm going to go through the marketing plan. Then maybe you all have the tool to do at home, but maybe we'll go through it physically for a few minutes. And then I'll ask what else I could do. I could maybe talk a little bit about promotional material that's available. And then I think you have some closing activities. Is that correct, Fred? Am I on track?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So here is the marketing plan. It will look a little different because Fred made a very creative tool for you to use, which I will use from now on. So let me start with this. What are we trying to do? Marketing plan is a little different than a whole big advocacy program. This is just part of it. This is just dealing with your client, your user groups. So you want to define their institution's user needs by developing a marketing plan. Find available training material and other resources on the Research for Life website in the Unified Content Portal or using Summit. Create training outlines and workshop programs, combine different research training materials for a local situation. Okay, to complete this, this is showing you where it is, but now you have a new version that is very is geared toward the e-training so that you can do this on your own. Okay, there are some similarities between marketing plan and advocacy strategy. Marketing is more current, customer-oriented, and aims to sell a product or service. It increases the library's visibility, therefore it should be part of an overall strategic plan. Marketing plan gives the libraries a framework for effective development of a marketing plan, marketing activities, and the plan is tailored to each institution. For example, a nursing school that is training under first, second year nurses would have a different information needs than a tertiary care hospital or a university where there are multiple programs in agriculture, environment, and social sciences. Okay, so marketing plan educates the institution's customers or client groups about the potential resources. Of course, this will benefit your research, output, the education policy making. If you're in, say, policy making would be in a government agency. An effective marketing strategy will increase the use of Research for Life. Policy making, you are in a Ministry of Public Health and you want to develop protocols so that the nurses and the doctors and the other clinicians know the best procedures. Well, that will use different tools in Research for Life than if you're looking at, I need research on the production of rice. That would be using different tools again. So you need to gear it toward the group you're teaching. So, created this quite a few years ago now. Where it says A, B, C, D, and E is where you plug in your groups. And there are a couple examples there. Faculty, researchers, undergraduates, postgraduates, staff, others. And then and this is what Fred created in the drop-down menus. Then there are the information needs for each. So we start horizontally. We list our groups, A, B, C, D, and E. And then we work vertically. You go to information needs box, and then this will come up and you click on, oh, well, these are postgraduate students doing their research project in agronomy. So what information will they need? Possibly current research information, regional research reviews, field projects, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They won't need clinical information because that's not relevant. There might even be some evidence-based research in agriculture, but that's really, again, focusing on health. Current updates would be useful, right? Because they need to know any new information, any new research is coming out in the field where they're doing their research, okay? So then we go to specific research, excuse me, Research for Life and internet resources. You've got research journals, review journals, ebooks, other Research for Life resources. For example, if you're in agriculture, you would want to look at AGRIS. If you're in environment, there's an environmental index. If you're in health, you would want to look at PubMed. So there are other resources there. And then you may also know some grade literature that is useful, some databases that are out on the internet. There's a thesis database with access to over 6 million theses. It's NDLTD, something like that. And if you're starting a literature search before a research project, you would want to look at other people's theses that may not be published. So then you could have a completely second group might be nursing students, and their needs are going to be much more different. Okay, so let me go on to the next slide. And what we did is we put in 3 different groups, and then this will be your drop-down menus that come up, and we click put in X next to current research lecturers. They need current research information. They need review information. They need clinical information, especially in health, evidence-based research. They need updates and anything on teaching strategies. So you go to the next group, what research for life and internet resources, and then you would click on, oh yes, they would need our research for life journals, review journals, ebooks, and then there's some of the other tools that may be useful for lecturers. I think this is a lecture of a nursing student, of a nursing school. The next column, you'll see they don't need quite as many or the same ones. Okay, there's a difference between nursing students, undergraduates, and nursing student postgraduates. But this is for you with your staff to define for each group. Okay, then we go on, then there's another whole section horizontally, ideas to promote for each group. For example, undergraduates maybe are generally at this day and age more easily reached through social media. Emails, they kind of ignore to a certain extent. You might put up bulletins, you might have an event. Then there's a series of boxes to put in questions for a survey. Okay, so we're working our way down each little horizontal column. Up in the box here, you put the same groups down. I think it's a lot easier in Fred's form. Okay, and then we talk about how we're going to distribute the survey. And there are a bunch of options, okay? As I said, internet, social media may be better for undergraduates. You might give it to people coming into the meeting. If you're dealing with faculty, you might go to their meeting. You might go to a research methods class for postgraduates and tell them about the resources you have, where you want to give them the survey, see what they need. Evaluation is also a key thing. How many participants, what tools you use. Has Research for Life been embedded in the assignments? Have the number of logins increased? These are ways of evaluating. So you go through this whole process. Okay. And again, we would put X's in each box that's relevant using the old tool. So very briefly, this is from 2017, a workshop in Papua New Guinea. And this group put together a very creative and nice marketing plan. So you have year one health students, you have year two health students, you have health lecturers, and you have students that come back for more training, FL students, if I remember that correctly. So you can see they have listed the kind of information each group would need. Then in the second horizontal grouping here, they have listed which Research for Life resources. In the next group, they've talked about internet resources, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a nice little tool that they have developed here. Here's ideas on how they would promote it. For the students, they would do it in the classes. They would have classes, and including the flexible mode students who are the ones coming back for more training. They would use a Moodle platform, email. Staff would be workshops, communication with trainers, ensure currency of information, and continuous usage and promotion of Hanari and Research for Life. So you can see how they have worked out different strategies for each group. Here's some survey questions that they developed. Can you access Hanari? Are familiar with the features of Hanari? Obviously, this is a health-related institution, and this is before we went to the broader concept of talking about the unified content portal as an access point and getting away from the disciplines as much, although you can, as you know, go into the content portal and only look at the Hanari or the Agora information. Is it useful for updating information you need? Is it useful for current research? So, what features are useful? What features are not useful? So they've developed a brief questionnaire. And this was all done within 1 hour at a workshop. So I was very impressed. Okay. Distribution of survey questions. Email, questionnaire on Moodle so students can answer it. Give the questionnaire to students and staff. And evaluation, number of students trained, number of staff trained, number of workshops conducted, increased logins, better teaching strategies, and a follow-up survey. Okay, that is what I have. At this point, I will stop sharing and I will go to Fred's document. Let me share again. Very good. Okay, so first we select client groups. What type of institution shall we do? And you can put things in chat. Okay, that could work. If I see, what kind of institution would we like to do? Agriculture, environment, give me a type of institution to put. Health, any volunteers? Anybody put something in chat? Nope, we're not getting anything yet. Okay. School of Environment. Okay, we have environment. School of Hygiene, Ho Teaching Hospital. Is it all right if I do a teaching hospital, it's easier for me. Okay, Ho Teaching Hospital. Okay, so those of you in health. In a teaching hospital, if I click on this drop down, what groups do we have? Okay, we have clinicians, correct? We have, then we go to this box, then we click on this again. Do we have postgraduates? Okay, those would be, I would use the term residents, right?
Right.
That's my term. Okay, so now we go to staff. Oh, I'm sorry, I should put that in this category. Okay, so now we put in postgraduates, which would also be residents. Okay, what information needs do the clinicians need? Clinical information. This works very well the way he's done it. It's better than putting X's in. Current research. Evidence-based research. Oh no, I made a mistake here. Yes. I'm staring at this. There we go.
Clinical.
Okay. I did it again. Current research. Current.
Clinical information.
Okay, we need clinical information. Let me go to the next one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so would the administrative staff need the same information? We're not quite sure. We're not quite sure. Would anyone like to suggest? All right, do we have any more information we need in this category? Research methodology, research review could be useful. Okay, now staff, administrative staff would be
statistics.
Excuse me, which one?
Statistics.
Statistics, I was going to say that too. Okay, yeah. And then they might need a little information on updates.
Yes.
Okay, current updates. Yeah, okay. Now, postgraduates. Now, this means residents, okay? To me, this means residents. They would need, for sure, evidence-based practice. Then we go down. Okay, so everybody gets the idea of how to do this. Current updates. They would need current research. Okay. Oh, it's going to be in the same box. Current research. Okay, current. So we get the idea here. Now, we go down here. Select. Ooh. And it doesn't want to. It's not popping up as we hoped.
No, Lenny, I think you have to scroll up. It's covering it. The screen tip is covering the arrow.
Where's the?
Yeah.
Have to scroll up.
Yes, exactly. Then you can see the arrow.
So now it'll work. Okay, research for life, research journals. I see. Thank you, Fred. Okay, there's everything here they will need. I'm sorry, not gray literature, not as necessary here. Ebooks, research journals, review journals. Okay, so you see what's happening. What information would staff need? Administrative staff, probably, I put down review journals. Okay, ideas on how to promote. Do I scroll down further?
And Lenny.
Yes.
It's also possible to type your own information there, not only to click. Yes.
Okay, so we would put in policy updates, right?
Yes.
And if your administration, ooh.
Yes, so just say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and here, and for here, I would put in evidence-based medicine, right? Okay, so you put in your own categories here. Yes. And here I might put in administration, Ministry of Health documents. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see. Now, postgraduates, those are the residents. We'll leave that alone for now because I think we're doing okay. So then we scroll down again and we start going into, ooh, I went down too far. Ideas to promote. I have to, let me cancel that. Let me scroll down a little. Here we are. So how would we promote to the clinicians? Let's see. Ideas that we have to type in here, right?
No, you have to select the categories again.
Select the categories again.
Yes, so clinicians.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see. Now I can go here.
Yes.
Maybe. There we are. But these are the, but what are the ideas to promote? I'm going to type it in. Ideas to promote would be staff.
No, Lenny. That first row is for the categories. So you select for clinicians, then the following rows will be for the ideas.
Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah, so right here, select the clinicians. Yes, but underneath the next row, yes, here you can select an idea.
Okay. Okay. You have to repeat the groups.
Yes, that was the original design. Maybe I'll remove it because I have frozen the
No. This is if you update it, please send it to me because it's very useful to use.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with that. So what would work for clinicians? Training workshops. Right. We agree on that. What else would work? Posters,
Postcard.
Yes. Lectures. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Lectures. Events. Okay, so now we're dealing with, say, postgraduates. We're going to select group. We're going to select postgrads. I'm getting better at this. Okay. Now, postgrads, I repeated the same one here. Let me see if I can.
Post this.
I repeated that, but we'll leave that for now. Let's go back here. So how would we reach postgraduates? These are people who are making rounds in the hospital. We're defining them as, I use the term residents, so they could use workshops. Word of mouth would be very useful. Don't you agree with that?
Yes. I agree with that.
Okay. And we could actually put word of mouth over here too, because the term I used to use is the teachable moment. When someone comes into the institution and said, I need this information, I have this clinical situation, and I need to learn more about it, and say, okay. And that's when you can teach them how to be self-sufficient.
Yes.
And that's when you can teach them about the resources. So I think we have an agreement on that. Okay. And then let's see, we're back here. There might be some other good ones too. Leaflets, newsletters, word of mouth events. They might.
Websites and social media.
Yes. We were thinking the same thing, right? Yes. I'm not the expert on social media as much, but I'll get my daughter to help me. Okay. So I think we get the idea of what we're doing here.
Yes.
And as I said, we didn't get too far with, we got a good idea that the information needs are a little different. So then if we were to look at additional resources here, postgraduates. Well, I happen to know that there's a couple tools available for evidence from Hanari, from Research Life. So I would put in, and then there's one, okay, yes. And then you'd put in Joanna Briggs, EBP, evidence-based practice database, and then in PubMed, yes, we put in PubMed clinical queries so that they learn about the tools for evidence-based medicine. So these three would also fit here. Oh, I'm sorry, I put them in the wrong category. Now, you're going to have to excuse me. These belong not in promote, but they belonged in a group further up. They belong in this group here. Okay?
Resources,
so
yeah.
This is where we would put the additional tools.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you might say, okay, out of this, I need to do in fact, I should delete, should I delete these, or for now it's okay? I shouldn't waste time on that. These belong further up, my mistake. But you might say, out of this, I've learned that we really need to teach evidence-based medicine and have an hour session on that, or 2-hour sessions for both the clinicians and for the postgraduates. Okay, should we try some survey questions?
Yes.
Okay, I think we're doing,
Choose
no.
yes. Choose yes.
I have to go further up. I have to do this, right?
Yeah, but Lenny.
Yes.
Just select yes at the warning so that it will print your input.
Oh, just hit yes. Yeah,
yes,
there we are. Okay, so let us have some survey questions. I think everybody gets the idea, and I know it's the end of your workshop and it's early here, but take this tool and use it, and it will give you an idea of who you're dealing with and how to approach them, and it'll give you at least a good outline of what you need to do. And you can add more survey questions, things like that. Okay, who would like to suggest a survey question? Survey questions. Have you used Hanari? Well, I'm going to put Research for Life.
Okay.
R4L. And then, if yes, how do you access it? Yes. Survey questions. Okay, what resources do you use? Okay, I'm making these up. You'll know better for your institution. And then I think that's what we need to do there. Are there questions on this? Are there suggestions other than we tweak the form a little to make it a little easier to use, and then Fred will send it to me so I can use it in the virtual master trainer courses we conduct. Okay, any thoughts, any comments? There's one in chat. Do you get information? Ah, there we go. Come on, some more questions here. Do you get the, ooh, it's easier to copy and paste actually. See if this works. There we go. Now we go to 5. Any more suggestions on questions? Information you need in Research for Life. How about what problems? What problems, are you able to access? So I put that in, on and on. Okay, so at this point, I think we have a general idea on how to use this. Again, what I want to say about it's a tool. I don't know if you discussed the advocacy document, but this is part of an advocacy plan for your library. And if you actually sit down and do this, as my colleagues in that nursing college in Papua New Guinea, you can come up with a very useful tool. Okay, Fred, did you talk? I'm going to close this. I'm going to stop sharing here. I'm going to come back. Hello, good morning again. Good afternoon almost for you. Fred, did you at all talk about the promotion tools in Research for Life?
No, please.
Okay, so I will go into the internet and I will call up, let's see. It'll just take me a second. Okay, here we are. Let me go back and share again. This will take 5 minutes, maybe. Okay. So okay, is this displaying correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to briefly mention, you talked about what's in the training section, right?
No, we didn't
No.
go to the interface. No.
Okay, so all of you have been through a course, you've all learned, and you get to the point of, well, I think I need to have a workshop, and what training material is available? Okay, so if you click on there's 2 that are key here. We talk about our webinars and the MOOCs and all that. Authors Hub and Librarians Hub. I'm going to click on this one, and there's links to some of the things we've talked about: information literacy, using Research for Life, Advocacy for Change. That is the toolkit, the advocacy toolkit. Here's the marketing strategy information. Okay, but at the bottom are a whole list of training materials. Okay, this follows actually the curriculum of the MOOC. Okay. And in fact, we will be changing this and adding it by the end of November because we have new material in the MOOC about publishing. So that will become number 5, and then 5 will become number 6. But you can go in here. Okay, so let's say we want to teach about the Unified Content Portal. The key ones to me are the Research Unified Content Portal and Search Course Research for Life using Summon. Okay, so you can click here and physically download the whole presentation. Okay, so if I were to download this, you will see just like you use somewhat new. Okay, a whole course, a whole module on just the unified content portal, how to log in, collections, on and on, how to access the 3 different unified content portals, how to log in, and it goes on and on and on. And what I'm going to say is, this is all Creative Commons License 4.0, where you can go in and edit it and change it and use it as you feel necessary for your workshop. Okay, so you don't like this slide, you don't want to talk about this, you take it out. Or some information is missing, you add a slide. Okay, so let me go back. There's a whole series of presentations that you can use. This is more, the first 2 are more background information. There's something on management, reference management and collaboration tools. Then we have Research for Life. Okay, then we have a series of, these are additional collection-specific resources. This first one will have PubMed. The second one will have evidence-based medicine resources. Then there's one on agriculture that has AGRIS. There's one on environment that talks about the environmental index. So you can go through and add discipline-specific information. The last one here is about interdisciplinary resources, and this includes the huge database I talked about where there are theses. So you can go through and open them and pick and choose what you need for your presentations. So now I'm going to go back, and quickly we're going to look at marketing material. Okay, so you have access to all kinds of posters and brochures that would be useful at a workshop, or if you have a little introductory, you go to a faculty meeting discipline and you want to give them some handouts, you can produce them from here. Okay, there's even a PowerPoint presentation that's an overview of Researcher for Life and how to log in. So these also are available very easily from the Research for Life website. Did you talk about, one last thing, did you mention when you have problems, write to the help desk? Did that come up in any of the workshops?
It's included in every one of the presentations.
Okay, good. So I don't have to talk about that.
Oh, you should. Just go ahead.
Okay. I'm trying to think, how can I do this quickly? If you have a problem, let's say you log in and in the Unified Content Portal, it says you should have access to it. And then you go in and the publisher is asking you for another password, which doesn't exist, or to pay $40 US for access, which is impossible. That is when you go to the help desk. And let me see, I'm still in this. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing here. Okay, I'm gonna just put in chat. Okay, R4L at researchforlife.org. Yeah, that's the help desk. So I'm going to send this. Okay. So that's where you could write for assistance in when you have a technical problem. When your password doesn't seem to be working anymore, it might have been corrupted. When there's been a change in some of the material and you want to know why this doesn't work. All kinds of questions like that. What they ask you to do is identify your institution, your username, password is okay. Then they want you, if you have a problem, they want you to do a screen capture and send it saying, according to Research for Life, I should have access to this, and they're asking for payment. Can you please check on this? Because sometimes it is not your fault. Sometimes it is the system's fault. Many times it's the system's fault. They're dealing with all these different publishers and all these different platforms. So please feel free to use the help desk. Okay?
Okay.
I think at this point I should stop. It's you're going to have your closing now. I know that Fred has worked really hard to put this together, and I hope that it has been successful. And I see that you're setting up a way of continuing communication, which is wonderful. So we appreciate all the work he has done. And Fred, I think you could have your closing now. Is there anything else I should add? I did enjoy coming on and being able to work a little with you. I miss doing the face-to-face workshops, but this is the world we're in now, and we're trying to do the best we can.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thanks a lot, Lenny. Yeah, we'll find out if any colleagues have any questions for Lenny or for me for the next 3 minutes. And if not, then my boss, the university librarian, Dr. Teresa Idu, she's here with us. Then she will give us the closing words. But Lenny, you don't have to leave. You have to stay with us so that we take a group photo.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, any questions, please, colleagues?
It's not a question, actually. I would like to say thank you, Lenny, for your presentation. It's been very informative. Actually, every time I come up with a question, you answer it in your very next statement. So I don't really have a question right now, but I believe that with the email address you provided and the support that you're getting from Fred and the team, we'll be able to surmount the challenges that come up as we venture out into advocacy and marketing.
I'm going to put my email address. I mean, you know Fred's email address, but I'm putting mine in chat. Okay. So if something that I have talked about comes up, please feel free to contact me. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lenny, and Nee as well for your comments. Amy also says thank you, Lenny. So it's all a thank you, and many, many thanks to you from us. So at this point,
well, but we have to thank you because you put a lot of time into organizing this and making it available. For some people you had face-to-face, some people you had virtual. So you were very creative at your end, and please, let's all give him credit, give Fred credit for the energy and the success of this complicated workshop in our current environment.
Yes, so, thank you. And in receiving those thanks, I would like to thank my library team. In fact, my boss, you know, Lenny, you knew Mr. Kofi, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, he is retired now. And my new boss, Dr. Teresa Idu, she just came into this whole thing, but honestly, she just joined automatically, and everything has been working since. So I'm so grateful to her and all my other colleagues, Dominic, Dr. Osman. I can name them one by one. Every single member of the UHAS Library who has been working tirelessly and behind the scenes for all the things that we see coming up. I'm so grateful to all of them. And of course, though she's not here, Karen has also done so much. She's contributed so well. She even gave us some additional slides for the interdisciplinary resources. She actually presented, I think, 2 weeks ago, Friday. So I can't really name them one by one. Maybe in my report, I'll dedicate a whole page for the acknowledgements, and I'll be able to mention individuals there. And of course, I won't land without thanking the participants who have been very consistent, because to be honest, the virtual sessions are very difficult because The people are still at their places of work. They are still engaged in all their daily routines, but they always try to squeeze time into this particular space, the online meetings, plus all the other virtual sessions, reading through the materials. They have really, really done so great. And I want to say thank you to all of them, everyone who has been part of this to this point. It's our prayer that the connection will not break. As I mentioned earlier on, we are keeping all the spaces open. We are not closing any of them because we want to actually actualize the envisaged collaborative network for research and policy for a better life, not only for our region, but for Ghana as a whole and the continent. Because as I mentioned, for many of our institutions like UHAS, we actually affect nearly all parts of Africa. We have foreign students. There are so many people who benefit from the work we do. And so if we maintain this collaboration and do quality work, naturally, we are actually having an impact in the world at large. So that is my prayer and hope. And I believe that all of us will work together to realize such a vision. So at this point, I would like to invite Dr. Teresa Edu, my boss, to give us some closing words. And then we'll take our group photo and we'll bring the curtains down officially on our training of trainers engagement. But of course, don't forget, we have not closed because there are so many more activities, evaluations, assessments, tasks that you have to complete, So we are still open, but officially the 6-week ends today. And so with the closing comments by our university librarian, we will call our official engagements. Should I say closed? No, it's not closed. Maybe adjourned. All right, thank you very much and welcome, Dr. Mrs. Teresa.
Yes, Fred, I think that you have said it all. I think that it has been 6 exciting weeks. The climax of which was the face-to-face program we had on, I think that was last week, right?
Yes, please.
Yes, last week. And it's been really great. I have personally learned a lot, and I believe that all of us over here have also learned quite a bit. And people have given us feedback, and it's been really great. Like I said, when we had the face-to-face meeting, this whole idea is to foster that kind of collaboration that would help us to be better researchers and, of course, to mentor other people. And so we are trusting that whatever knowledge we have gained over here will not stay with us only. Whatever knowledge we have gained would be knowledge that we would share out there with others so that they would also be better people. Let us remember that this is a train the trainer program. And so this is just the beginning of greater things we are supposed to do. And one of the good things about this kind of collaboration is even when you think you have some shortcoming, you can rely or count on the support of other team members. And so, yes, we have finished and we have closed, but I don't think we have finished. I think this is the beginning of great things ahead of us. And let's all put our hands to it to ensure that whatever we have learned does not go down the drain. I think that Lenny has been great, especially with all the beautiful things he has given to us on marketing. We would take it and we would work with all of them. We want to, especially I would want to say a very big thank you to the team at Research for Life. and then the Medical Libraries Without Borders, right? Fred, is that it?
Yes, Librarians Without Borders.
Librarians Without Borders, sorry. We want to say a very big thank you to them for supporting this program. If it had not been supported, I don't think we would have come this far. And so we really appreciate whatever assistance we have received. And this one, I say it on behalf of University of Health and Allied Sciences. We really appreciate the support from Research for Life as well. And then we also appreciate all the participants. It's been great having you all. We can't mention individual names, but all of you have been great participants. And we are trusting that we would keep the fire burning. This is not the end of it, like I said. And we also want to express our deep appreciation to the library team as well. In fact, Fred, you have been awesome. Like Lenny said, we should give the credit to you. You have been really awesome. And I pray that we would have more wisdom and more knowledge and more strength to move on from here to do greater things. The library team has been great. It's been a great teamwork. If we had not collaborated with each other very well, we wouldn't have had such a beautiful program. And so I thank every single one of you, as well as my library team, all of them. I was attempting to mention names, but I think I will not attempt. I don't want any trouble. So because if I start, I may end up forgetting some of the names, and I don't want to do that. So I really appreciate all of you, and I appreciate my team in the library for making this a reality. God bless you all, and let's keep the fire burning. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Edu. And at this point, please, let's all kindly put our videos on for a photograph.
I have a question. How many different institutions do we have that participated in this?
Different institutions, I'll say we are more than 10 approximately, but it might run into 40 or 50 because, as I was trying to mention, there is a coalition involved, the Ghana Coalition of NGOs in Health, and that coalition alone has more than 30 members, okay? And each of these member organizations is actually represented. So I'll sit down and do the actual statistics and share with you.
One thing we could do is we have a little, if you give me the names and email addresses, I could add them to a little a list we have so they could get some updates from Research for Life.
That's great, I will.
Okay, to get them in the loop that way, and they can see if a new webinar is coming up. For example, we're starting to think about doing, we've had a lot of requests about publishing.
Yes.
And we're going to tap on the trainers from the different publishers, and we may do a 6 or 7 week or 8 week, an hour a week course on publishing with webinars, and something like this might be very useful to the participants to go through this or suggest it to others. So there's things that come up that could be useful that they'd hear about if we get them on that list.
Yes,
so
I will.
Please send me that information. Yeah.
Yes, please. I'll provide their contacts. All right. So, well, not all of us have our videos on. Should we go ahead and take the picture like that? Yeah, Eugene, Emmanuel, who else? David. Okay, so
now there comes Eugene. Yeah.
Okay, I took a first shot. Let me take a second one. Okay, I think that should be it. thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you too, Fred.
Yes. And Lenny, bye-bye. We'll be talking. Don't worry. I'll give you all the details of
Okay.
the participants so that you put them on the mailing list. And I
job.
believe that, yes, to be honest, as I mentioned some time back, I think a week or two, my first contact with Lenny and Karen was at Kolebu, and that was in 2017. And it was out of that my interest and the understanding of this whole process grew. I'm believing that we'll have many more trainers coming out of this current project, and that will help us to expand the network. So I thank you so much. Yeah.
For further training, okay. In February, we will have our MOOC, our massive open online course. I forget what it always stands for. And out of that, we identify people who have completed it, and we try to do a workshop in different regions. So there will be more training that way, and we hope to bring in even more people from Ghana that way. Okay,
Yes.
So we'll communicate with you so you can spread the word about that.
Right.
But yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much. And bye-bye, everyone. All the best.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you.
Yeah.